So rules. What a great title for a talk, right? We love rules. In this talk, I'm going to give you 5 rules about how to write object-oriented code. Following these rules will improve your code. The rules are important, so you should always follow them. And they're completely arbitrary, so it's perfectly okay to break them. My first rule when writing object-oriented code is that a class may contain no more than 100 lines of code. The second rule is that a method may contain no more than 5. And the third rule is that you may pass no more than 4 parameters to a method. I have always regretted this rule. Feels like maybe it ought to be 3. Somewhere between 3 and 4. 4, if you have to pass 4 parameters, there's definitely an object in there. Oh, and the corollary to this rule is you cannot just cheat with a hash. Right? Don't even. Okay, so this is the test they use to separate rule followers from rule breakers. And I can hear all of you thinking that you would be a rule breaker. Because you're programmers and you're game players and you want to know if the walk button works and you would press it. You would try. So let me give you a different instruction. Let's use this as our instruction to decide if you're a rule follower or a rule breaker. Go to the first stoplight, make this change in the source code, and then check it into the source code repository after removing all the trailing white space, and then press walk. Yeah, you don't feel like so much of a rule breaker now, do you? Did that pre-test. We separated, have 2 teams of followers and breakers. They had them play this game. Here's what happened. The groups of rule followers were 4 times more likely than rule breakers to cooperate to keep the pool alive. And in addition, it was clear when they failed because they couldn't get the math right under pressure. Right there. And they didn't let them talk, and so the rounding issue is a problem. Like if you round up, and if everybody rounds up, then you get cross that 30 boundary. But they did statistical analysis on the draws that they were making, and they meant to do it. And if had they been able to communicate, they would have sustained the pool forever. The teams of rule breakers consume the common resource almost instantly. And by their choices, mathematically, you can tell they're not even trying. They are over-harvesting dramatically. It's as if during each round, their mental calculation looks like this. So one thing they measured in this study was something they call reciprocity. Sorry, I have a hard time saying that. I've been practicing all morning. Reciprocity. And it's the tendency of someone to, in the next round, do what someone else did in the prior round. And it turns out that the choices are highly reciprocal. And this is great if everyone's Metz, right? If everyone's nice and we're all behaving reciprocally, then niceness has a tendency to be maintained. However, in these groups where there are players who have bad behavior, not only do they behave badly, but then they all reciprocate the bad behavior and they have this amazing race to the bottom. So this is interesting, but of more interest to us is they repeated the study and they used mixed groups. They made groups that had some rule followers and some rule breakers. And these groups behave like breaker groups. And the authors theorized that it's because of this quality of reciprocity. It's as if there's a round played where someone does that, and it just pokes everyone else in the eye, and in the next round they do this, right? Okay, buddy. They behave just like breaker groups. The breaks that have a group that's mostly rule followers that has a single rule breaker rapidly degrades to this. And so here's what the authors of the study say about this. They say that in mixed groups, this will always be true, that having one rule breaker on a team will inevitably cause it to exhaust the shared pool, and by extension, overgraze the field or overfish the sea. And I hesitate to take this analogy all the way to software development, but I sometimes wonder if I should. So they also say that the only way to avoid this problem, the only way to avoid the inevitability of mixed groups over-harvesting the resource, is to screen for rule breakers and preemptively exclude them. It's harsh, I know.